Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where unfortunately, I have to deliver some bad news here. It is with a heavy heart that I must announce that the time has come. And the time in question is to build a navy. It's very sad. We need a real one, though. At some point, we need a real one. I don't feel like we should put it off any longer. So let's hop into our production here, and we're going to work on our navies. Now, we're currently working on a 36 submarine hull, which is not being built because of a lack of steel. Really? I didn't realize we had a lack of steel. Minus 213? Remarkable. Okay, our shipping must be being disrupted in some way, because that is surprising to me. Where is our steel being used up at? I mean, tanks, obviously. But this was not the case previously. I wonder if I need to tick the game forward here. Let's give it a day tick and see if that needs to update. Okay, no. But that's fine. For the time being, we'll get back to that. Actually, yes, that did update. Somewhat. These updated. This did not. Okay. Hang on. Let's tick it one more day. That's more like it. Okay, so it's just because I started up the game. Gotcha. But we do need to work on this navy. So I want to work on this. Let's start up with submarines. Now, what is the role of submarines going to be? We don't have any traits here. Okay, that's fine. The role of submarines is going to be entirely torpedoes. We're not going to go heavy into mine warfare. We'll do some anti-mining, but we are not going to mine ourselves. So we're going to do torpedo tubes. And then for our mid one here, we could run radar that would give us additional sub and surface detection. And that's bad, right? Ability to detect... No, that's good. Okay. So ability to detect would not be bad. We could also do a snorkel to reduce our visibility. And that's actually what I'm going to do. I want our subs to be sneaky, and I want them to blow things up with their torpedoes. So we're going to toss in additional torpedoes here. We have no available slots over this way, but we can put more torps in. That seems good. And submarine engine 4 seems absolutely fine. Now, this is the best that we're going to get. We're only at 42 naval experience. Remarkable. I actually expected to be a fair amount higher in naval experience. Okay, we're not going to be able to get all of these done then. So what we're going to do for now is we're just going to get our upgraded submarine working. And yes, this is indeed going to be changed. Yes, it'll lose us 12 days of production. I'm aware of that. So we're going to get going on that. That'll be fine. Now we're going to do the early heavy cruiser. And the question is, what is the early heavy cruiser going to be specialized into? Well, it's going to be an anti-aircraft platform. So we're going to go for the, not the converted cruiser hull, the 1944 cruiser hull. We'll create a variant here. That'll be fine. And we can upgrade that with latest traits if there was something there. There isn't. That seems okay. So we're going to install... I am going to make this be, I think, partially... I think we're going to have some amount of guns here. So we're going to start with like a light cruiser battery auto-loading. And then out here, I want to just go heavily into anti-air. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Very, very heavily into anti-air. This requires us to have a battery here. So I think we're going to have this go into anti-air as well. Our fire control system should be on FCS 3, boosting up our anti-air there. And this is already too expensive. Okay, so we can't get this going just yet, but we absolutely are going to want radar here. And how much is this going to cost overall? So a dual-purpose secondary battery will be fine. And then we would like cruiser armor on here as well. We'd also like additional anti-air. Just maximizing this anti-air. So huge amounts of anti-air on this. Now that's going to cost 58 to save, so we can't do that yet. Yes, ships using this design will be screen ships. That is anticipated. So this is exactly what we want them to be doing. Now, in these rapid fire guns, can some of these be repurposed for anti-air? Actually, yes, is the answer. The dual-purpose main battery would be what we would end up going for there. That can be repurposed as anti-air, and then these secondaries can also be anti-air. Now, that's only light attack. There's no heavy attack. That's not the point for these particular cruisers, but that's going to cost us 58, so we need a lot more naval experience. Okay. Well, that's reasonably fine for now. At least we got the submarines going, and we know that cruisers are going to be anti-air. I'm going to have destroyers be anti-sub and anti-mine. They're going to be kind of dual role there. And then we're going to have carriers, of course, be carriers. And then battleships are going to be focused on heavy attack. So that'll be the overall idea there, but we're going to need a lot more naval experience to get that done. For some reason, I thought that we had more naval experience than 54. 54 was not much naval experience, so that's okay. So we are trying to hold some positions here and attack, but supplies are a primary issue here in Brazil. That's obviously understood. Now, I have gone through off camera, and I have queued up in every location that we've taken over, except this one that we just got, which we may not hold. I've queued up a land fort in every single one of these positions, including, I think, here. No, I didn't. I missed that one. Okay, sure. Let's queue up land forts here as well, and we're prioritizing these naval bases, but we're going to build land forts and fortify this as much as we can. I also want to make sure that, okay, this just hasn't switched over. We can upgrade this railway, and we should do that. Okay, so with that in mind, the real question here is, when does this finish? And the answer is 11 January at this point. That is a long time in the future. Our supplies are going to be problematic until then, for sure. But we are making some pushes here. So that does seem good. We do have infantry on their way in over here. Okay, that seems relatively fine for the moment. This infantry division is going to go here. Perfect. Okay, so back over this direction. How are we doing on these pushouts? Well, they're doing surprisingly well. These guys are all retreating. Yes, we're doing surprisingly well here, given their numbers. Okay, I'm reasonably fine with that. Taking more territory is good. Unfortunately for us, it's kind of not great territory. There's not a lot of victory points through here. I suspect there's a significant lack of infrastructure just in general. There is a supply hub down here, though. That is an extremely good thing. So, in that case, I do want to make sure that we are building up land forts here. That's a victory point and a supply hub. This is very, very important that we hold. Okay, that will help us significantly. We are going to need to work on railways connecting to it. So this railway is going to need to be bumped up. This just needs to get its connection to capital, which should happen soon. I'm not sure when that supply hub will become available. But getting a supply hub here is not the best position for us. We'd prefer one out over here, but it's okay. Now, we're pushing down this direction, and then the goal from there will be to push out over this way. That's going to just be a couple of provinces, and get these guys cut in half, right? Argentina is in this. So Argentina, Paraguay, and the capital of Brazil would be down here. And to the north would be Brazilian troops that are kind of cut off from supply. Not entirely. And Venezuela. Yes. That's the way that that works. Cool. So pushing through the Amazon rainforest is going to be awkward for us. No doubt about that one. But I want to see what's going on with the supply hub. And I want to get that motorized on up. No supply connection from the capital yet. And that is because this railway needs to switch over. Okay, so this railway has switched. This is now active, and we can see that it is delivering supplies all the way up over here. Now, it is overloaded. There's no doubt about that. We have multiple supply hubs here that are overloaded. This isn't surprising at all, but at least we have 2 supply hubs supplying this area instead of 1. Now, we're going to want a third one here, but that is a long ways off. So that's fine. I do want to work on upgrading this railroad, and I want to check in on the status of infrastructure out here. Okay, we've got a fair amount of territory that we can take before infrastructure really becomes a concern. Noted. So that is reasonably fine for the moment. These guys out over here have low organization. Intriguing. We're definitely going to continue to press over this river. And that's going to be mildly awkward for us, of course. But for the time being, this is reasonably fine. I think that we're doing fairly well here. Supplies are definitely keeping us from pushing out as much as we would like, but we're punching significantly above our weight in terms of things like division count. So I'm very pleased about that, all things considered. We're not getting pushed back anywhere either, and that seems really, really good for the time being. So I'm pleased about that. Again, we're only attacking with our tanks. Our infantry are being used exclusively on the defense. Why do we not have any infantry here? Okay, now we do. Cool. So we have pushed down this way, and extending this line is, in my opinion, largely within our favor. I am interested in finding out if there's another supply hub down this direction. We could really use one. Oh, there's one here. Okay. We could really, really use that supply hub. There's one up over here, which is not tremendously useful for us. There's also one here. This is a naval base. It's only a level 1 naval base, but that would still be a useful location for us to take. So looking at the position of the supply hubs, we're going to be in a bit of a supply dearth throughout here. This supply hub is going to be pretty far back to supply that. So we'll see how that goes. We're having a hard time dislodging them from the mountains. This isn't shocking. That said, if we could take this location and pocket these guys, that would be kind of huge. I don't foresee that necessarily happening here. But that would be very, very interesting if we could do that. So that would mean we would take, like, these guys and tell them to attack here. And then these guys would possibly support this attack, but they can't do that right now. This attack is currently happening, and that's understood. I want you guys to attack here. And I want you guys to support this attack. Okay, so this attack is not going super well at the moment. They are taking attrition here. We're now winning this, but it's going to last a very long time. But I really would like to push in over this way. So we'll see what happens with that. This armored division can be brought over. Oh, we lost an armored division somewhere. Interesting. I'm going to tell this guy to actually come here instead. Okay, so that'll do for now. We are winning this attack. We are technically winning this attack. These guys are assisting here, yes. And we're winning this defense. I want to get these tanks. The problem is we really want to move in over here, right? There's a lot of troops there. They have moved some of these units out at this point. Now, we are definitely running into some attrition issues of our own. We might not want to push this too hard. But I'm going to try one more attack here and see what happens. Okay, I don't think this is going to happen. I think that our supplies are too precarious. Select these guys, please. Thank you. And that'll do. Okay, so I want to take a look at what our railway situation through here is looking like. Okay, so it connects down like that. Gotcha. So this supply hub would be very, very useful for us. We should upgrade this railroad, although that's actually not controlled by us. Sure. So that seems fine for now. We are working on bringing more supplies in, but I feel like we have enough supplies entering at this point, and it's just getting them out to the front. That's the problem. We'll upgrade that railroad. We have taken this position, which is looking good. So Rio de Janeiro is going to fall under this current plan. I'm going to change what the plan is. I want them to offensive line out over here. Like that. With that fill-in being... I don't like that fill-in. Okay, we're going to change what that offensive line actually looks like. So that is going to then be something like... Let's back this off a bit. Something along the lines of that is what we want. Peru-Bolivia is not in this. So if we can advance to here, that will drive a significant wedge between them. What does this fill-in look like out over in the Amazon? That's acceptable. We'll get started on that. Okay, so that looks good. We'll continue to attack out over there. Supplies are definitely a concern for us. It'll get better if we can take this port. It'll get a lot better if we can come down here and take this supply hub. So that's the overall concept there. What do we have finished up over here? Another armored division. Okay, that is going to go here. Fantastic. And we do have a decision that we could take here. Improved worker conditions. I did start up off camera, and I also started up Exhort Heroism. I also did I do a region-wide industrial integration? I think I didn't. And we could. We probably should. So we'll do that for now. We're 37 naval experience. We definitely need more naval experience to get our navy fully upgraded. So that'll be fine. The improved light tank chassis has finished now. And that, of course, means that we can work on the amphibious tank chassis. We can also work on the 1941 light. We're nearly done with all of our research, though. There's very, very little that we can throw this at. We are done with this screen, done with this screen, done with this screen. This one's done. Nothing to be done here. Nothing to be done here. I guess we could grab Signal Company 4 here. I didn't realize that wasn't done. I thought that was done. Okay, so now Support Companies is done once these finish. And all we need, the only tech that we are not currently researching, is the amphibious drive. That is the only remaining technology. Now, tech is going to be an awkward thing in this game because there's no, like, modern period Paradox game. I wish there was, or at least a, like, Cold War period. That'd be fun. I would definitely enjoy a Cold War period game where you have to, like, push your nation's advantages without other superpowers getting too upset about it. Okay, so we just took this port. That is a very good deal for us. That is a very big thing. We're going to motorize that up fully, and we're going to need to upgrade this railway. Now, this is currently a level 4 railway. Let's take that up to a level 5. Looks good. Okay. So we're currently losing out over here, but things are being moved around. We're not surprised that we're having some difficulty moving out in the Amazon. That's not shocking at all. So with that in mind, we'll just continue to expand our landhold here in Brazil. Supplies are better over here now. They're not necessarily better up here. And this supply hub up over this way is going to be very far back, right? So that's going to help, but it's not going to be perfect for this area down here. Supplies are going to be grim for the next little while. I think that's very clear. We may want to consider building a hub about here, just in case we get pushed back to this area. We're not planning on fighting in this area long term, but a hub there would probably still be a good thing to get started on, just in case. So we'll get going on that. I also want to make sure that this naval base is building up to max. So that'll be fine. We do have a bunch of land forts queued up here. These areas do not have them. I'm not going to build additional land forts down here for now. I don't really anticipate us getting heavily pushed back again, so that'll be fine. We've got this armored division, which can end up going here, and then we've got these 3 real infantry divisions, which will go into our reserve. That seems okay. Cool. We're still struggling to press in to these mountains here. That's not shocking. We're absolutely okay with pushing down this coastline. That is fine. Taking the base in Rio de Janeiro would be absolutely great here. But we want to retain their capital on this side for the moment. Okay. I'm thinking we might want to heavily attack in the north first and eliminate Brazil in the north and Venezuela, and then come down this way. That's what I'm leaning towards anyway. We'll see what it ends up feeling like, but for now, that's what I'm thinking about. Now, we can't get the amphibious drive going, so I'm just going to get rid of that for the moment. That'll be fine, and we're just continuing to slowly grind our way across here. Now, our planes were previously not really doing too much over here, although it looks like that just needed to update. Yeah, I looked at this before I had started the game ticking. We're doing fine over here. We're shooting down lots and lots of planes. So that looks fantastic. So we're winning defenses, and we're winning a lot of attacks here. We're not necessarily winning every attack, but we don't need to. This is a little bit dangerous down over this way. I would like to see this tank division be kicked out of here for sure. Let's have at least a couple of these guys come out over this way. I want to guarantee that we take this, because that is dangerous. Okay, so we have a supply hub down here now as well from this naval base. Let's motorize that. And we don't have a rail connection here yet. That's going to take 9 days. Okay, we'll have to get that converted over. Cool. So we've pushed down all the way as far as we're going to over here. If we look at our fill-in over this way, we're going to have to take a fair amount of the Amazon out this direction. That is reasonably fine. Okay. For the moment, this is okay. This armored division is going to go in here. This guy can get a new trait, and we are going to give him Panzer Expert. Cool. That seems fine. I want to check in on our production. How are we doing on our tanks? We should have plenty of them still, but I'm wondering if that number is going up or down. Down, definitely. There are 29,000. Okay, good to know. So that is absolutely fine. We're at 49 naval experience right now, and I do want to get this cruiser upgraded eventually, but I believe it said that we needed 54 to get that done. So that's okay. We'll wait for that. So taking a look at what we have going on here, we've definitely expanded our hold. We need to come down over this way and work on this railway line. Actually, that's a level 5 railway. We don't need to work on that at all. There's a supply hub here too. So that's really, really solid. There's no supply connection right now because we need to wait for these railways to upgrade. But we'll go ahead and upgrade those. And I'm going to come into this guy and get him motorized. Okay, cool. So a supply hub here will help. But our main problem right now is out over this way, right? So that is fine. We are starting to get through some of the more difficult terrain, though. And we're going to start pushing faster through here. And that's exactly what we want to see. A Mountaineer template and a fake infantry division can go into here. No problem. Cool. And it's currently 24 December. We should be seeing... Okay, this supply hub is built. I want to definitely motorize that up. That will help matters. And redistribute some of this a little bit better. That's definitely better. There's a supply hub up here as well. Let's motorize this. We'll rebalance these a little bit. Supplies are improving a lot. And that's good. Are you motorized? No, you're not. Motorize. Okay. So we're taking a lot of this strain off. No doubt about that. That's looking very solid. Ooh, these guys are pocketed. Okay. That's really good. That's really, really good. Just get in here. Wipe them out. That's a lot of divisions there. That is almost 30 divisions that are being eliminated right now. That's beautiful. Really, really, really good. So this armored division is going to head out over here. No problem with that. I do want to continue to work on our supplies here, but we can see our supply system is getting a lot better. It's certainly not perfect, but it is improving out here in Brazil. So we're going to upgrade these railroads. That'll all be very, very important to get done. We're also interested in... What is up with this connection? That's a water connection? Okay. I'm going to build a railway out here, and then a second railway up this way, like that. I want to upgrade this railway. That'll be fine for the moment. And we have no connection here just yet. So we need to wait for this supply hub to get a connection. Also, we need to upgrade this existing port. Did we have an existing port down here that didn't get upgraded? Yes. We can get to work on that. Cool. So there's a lot of construction going on over here, right? No doubt about that. But that's not surprising. Things are a lot better on the supply front. I'm wondering when this supply hub gets finished. So let's check in here. That is this one. It is a long ways from being done. Okay, 4 April. So about 4 months on that one. Brazil has decrypted our ciphers. Speaking of which, we should probably continue to upgrade our intelligence agency. That'll be fine. And yeah, look at that. Almost 30 divisions just gone. Beautiful. That's what we like to see. So that's fantastic. That is going to significantly weaken Brazil's ability to respond to us. Okay, so we do have some railways out over this way that are eventually going to require upgrade. This is a supply hub that we just controlled, or we just captured, rather. So that is going to get motorized up. And that's going to, again, lessen some of the demand on some of these hubs out over here. So that's very, very good for us. However, we do need to increase its overall throughput of supply. So we've got about 2 days before this railway is upgradable, but these are going to need to be constructed, right? So 1 day here, there we go. That's a level 4 connection right now. That's not all that helpful either, because it doesn't actually connect anywhere for us right now. Just goes out over here. We'll get that upgraded, and we'll continue to work on these level 1 railways, which are nearly completed anyway, so that will be somewhat helpful. This infantry division can go here, no problem whatsoever, and it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to begin work on cutting Brazil in half. In fact, we've already begun work on that. I do want to put up land forts in these locations, and those are going to go right along this line, because we are going to essentially fortify this line, and we're going to push through the Amazon, which is going to be painful, and then we're going to come back over here and fight these guys at that point. That's the overall plan, because I want them to be separated from their supply capital for the Brazilians. The Brazilians are the primary threat here, so that is the plan. We'll see if that plan survives contact with the enemy. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. Slightly awkward pause there. Okay.